Sounds like nonsense.
Nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
Now that sounds like nonsense.
That sounns like nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
You know what
to
that
me.
sounds like?
Sounds like
like nonsense.
nonsense.
That sounds like
Sounds like
nonsense.
nonsense.
Sounds like
Is this what it's going to sound like?
Sounds like nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
No.
Sounds like nonsense.
It's nonsensical.
And it sounds like this.
Hello.
That was it?
Yeah.
That was weak. You felt put on the spot, and
I
that's all
did.
you could come up with?
No, I don't know, because Jeff normally does that part, and whatever.
Jeff and Wil aren't here.
Jeff and Wil aren't here,
We're
and
do-
it's, yeah,
We're doing this in the middle of the week.
we are.
It's 4:20, you guys.
And?
Are you going to get high with me today?
No,
Come on, dude. When we
No.
get home?
no.
Maybe a
But
little?
Also, George Floyd just got justice.
Yeah, dude. That
Uh-huh.
just happened right now, too. I'm shocked.
Just now, yeah.
I am shocked that actually happened. I'm
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't justice, I guess. It was accountability, really, but whatever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to get a lot crazier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so here we are. We're
we
doing
are.
this in the middle of the week because we're going to be at Punk Rock Paintbrushes this weekend.
That is right.
And we just didn't want to have to hurry back and
No.
rush it and do the whole thing. And you did an awesome interview. Mm-hmm. Recently, we wanted to get that in. And then we have a couple other interviews.
Yes.
I'm going to say secret guests. Or no, I'm not. I'm going to call it surprise guests because
Okay.
I'll be surprised that they show up and get it done before this comes out. So as of this moment, we're going to play 2 interviews and a bunch of songs. Because one of the interviews you did, it had 3 bands, 4 bands?
3 bands, yes.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you tackled that by yourself.
It was a little challenging because, when you're talking to somebody, especially that many people on one Zoom meeting, you want to give space to, like, chat or let somebody talk. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
I'm
I'm going to chop it down just so that the spaces in between aren't so long.
Nah, I wouldn't. I
Nah,
wouldn't waste
I'm
my
gonna-
time.
I'm
But
gonna.
if you can get it done before we go.
I will.
All right. Well, I guess you don't have to. We got time. We
Yeah.
got time to edit that. I still have to edit last week's.
Okay.
We're cramming it all in here, folks.
That's right.
But I thought this was a good time to do it because we can play a bunch of songs because we do have a bunch of bands that are going to be on.
Yes.
And so I don't know. Do you want to do a little weekly catch up or anything you want to say before we jump into our first song?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking we just play some music,
yeah,
right?
it's kind of like a midweek mosh-up mix-up.
How do I pronounce this first band? Jacquoa Jazz?
Jacquoa Jazz.
Jacquoa Jazz.
No, I don't know. Jacquoa. I think he said Jacquoa.
Dude, we suck at this.
I'm the worst at pronouncing things as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
You'll hear in the interview. I believe he says Jacquoa.
Jacquoa Jazz. What's the song we're going to play?
It is called
Heart of Glass.
Heart of Glass.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. dude. That was cool.
That was super cool.
It felt like being back in New Orleans.
I loved it. Yeah. And so that was the side project of Jake, who is also the CEO, owner of the label Mannequin Vanity Records.
Right. And then, so he's got the late, great Charlie Borksi under his label, who you talked to, and the Bricktop Blaggers.
That's correct.
So you talked to all of them. We're going to play all their songs.
Yeah.
And then also, we have the homies Block Parents come on.
Yeah.
They were super funny. We just get done talking to them.
They were fun.
We do everything out of order here these days. So, but that was awesome. And they get a new album coming out called Sick Year, Bro. Those guys are hilarious. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, what do you want to do? Do you just want to play another song right now?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk some shit?
No.
All right. Well then, did you find out what Charles Borski is, or Charlie Borski?
Okay,
is?
so I googled it, and it just looked like a couple of like just random people, like nobody famous. So that was the one thing that I should have asked them.
I'm wondering why you didn't.
What?
Why didn't you ask them?
Oh, because there were so many people on at the time. I didn't even think to ask that.
You just went, Charlie Borski. Yeah, I know what that is. You just skimmed over it.
No, you'll have to listen to the whole interview.
I did listen.
Okay, I know, but not that one.
Well, let's listen to a song right now. This is Champagne.
Okay.
Cork on the champagne, here's to me. Oh, champagne, I am fancy me. Champagne, pop a cork on the champagne, cheers to me. Now most things in life, they got me feeling sad. So what do I do when shit hurts real bad? Well, I celebrate, I drink away my woes. There's Bouvet, Clicquot, and Dom Perignon. There's Old Cristal and Moet Chandon. Take your pick, I'll take any mix of those. And when the bubbles won't kill the pain, it's time I made a change to whiskey. Oh, I'm a drinking it whiskey. From beside my bed, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm feeling fine. And the fire starts going inside my chest, and it's thanks to the whiskey. Now I'm feeling my best. My baby said she's worried. I said, honey, I ain't dead yet. No, I'm hanging on by a little thread. But shit, I'll tell you the reason I say I ain't dead yet. Pretty soft, and my eyes start swimming, my head gets lost. I'm never gonna make it if I can't get my head straight. So I pull out my phone, I muster all my will, and I drop a line over to my buddy Bill. I say, I'm trying to pick up, meet me at the liquor store across the street at about 8:30. Most people say I've got a problem.
That's got a fucking problem.
But this is what I say to them. You can keep your nose out of my motherfucking business. And bring it on over this pile of cocaine instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cocaine, I'm doing that cocaine. Oh, the cocaine all night long. Oh, let's cocaine, cocaine, champagne, whiskey, champagne and whiskey. Keep me going strong.
All right, so we have got to have them play in our front yard because that would be so much fun.
Jesus.
So much fun.
We could drink champagne, wink.
And whiskey.
Nose beers.
No, but so in the bio, it says based on the teachings of Charles Borski. So maybe I just didn't Google search well, but anyways, so yeah, when they come over, I'm going to ask.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that they might have been taken in, a little bit of that wacky tobacco.
Yeah, or other things. But
Blair had an amazing fucking ghost story, though, dude. It did make the hair on my legs stand up.
It did.
I was like, oh.
Not my hair. Like, it put the hair on the hair on my arms.
Okay.
Not the back of my legs. That's a weird one to say.
Yeah, it's you shaved the tops of your legs, but not the bottoms. What? It looks like there's always a shadow following you.
Okay. I never heard that one before.
Steven, they got an awesome, 60s, 70s kind of vibe, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to come and play on our porch, fucking come on, bring it.
Yeah.
And when I say porch, I think we're going to get too crazy.
I know. We've already got other plans. We're going to make the neighbors of our studio mad.
Our studio?
Yeah.
No, I think our neighbors here
No,
are fine.
because I drove up because I was thinking about what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I saw a house right up top, so the
oh yeah,
travel,
fuck those guys. No, we're good.
All
I
right.
think we're gonna do as this opens up. I'm thinking about having some music up in here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I've got it soundproofed. Might as well get to it. So what's the next band, Courtney? What do you think?
Bricktop Blaggers.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear what they got. What's the song gonna be called?
They have a new single, and I wrote it down.
Okay.
It is...
It's Denial.
Denial. Well, I wrote it down, and then I had it
written
set
down
up.
for me. I know. I'm setting you up right now.
I know.
All right, let's do that. How about we do that, and then we'll just play the interview.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it. Boom.
You wake up in the morning, forgot what you did last night. You wake up in the morning, you know it's not a pretty sight. You think you got it handled and you think you're in control, but you're only in denial, and now it's taking hold of you. collide.
So much for being on Sounds Like Nonsense. I super appreciate it. So what I would love for you to do is to introduce yourself and the members of your band who are not here.
Hello, my name is Will.
And I'm Blair.
My name's Nick.
And then there are also Lucas, Allie, Alan, and Chloe.
Awesome. And your band?
The Late Great Charlie Borksi.
Awesome. Very cool. And then Dustin, why don't you go next?
I'm Dustin, play bass in the Bricktop Blaggers. We don't have Kevin, our drummer, Karen, our fiddle player, and Reed, our guitar player. But I'll kick it over to the main man. He likes to talk more than I do.
No, never. I'm Steve, and I'm the singer for the Bricktop Blaggers. What happened to the rest of them? They're not showing up, or what? It's lazy. That's lazy.
You're lazy, but you guys did just play a show last night.
That is true.
So
they're all hungover. just a little bit.
And then we also have Jake here, who is the label runner. Like, is that a CEO? Like, do you technically call yourself like a CEO? Like, how does that work in the music world?
You know, it's very not that often that I get addressed as a title. So sure, label owner, CEO. Usually it's just like that weird Ukrainian guy or
Mannequin Vanity Records. And then you also have a band yourself, and go ahead and introduce that.
Oh, the band I play in is called Kel Bordel, and then the Jacquoa Jazz thing is like a side project / something I started in quarantine, just playing gypsy jazz covers with various people.
That's awesome. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to ask, because a lot of the people who are listening are in bands themselves. So I would love to hear your journey. For you specifically, Jake, like getting into a label, like how did you start the label? Because that's super interesting. But for the band members, what was your journey to getting to the label?
Okay, what was my process like? I guess I used to do a lot of freelance recording in New York, and I started recording a lot of friends' bands that I liked, and eventually I was like, oh, I'll maybe try to release everyone on a label. My super old band, Plastic Revolution, was a pop punk band, and we toured the world and never really got big, but we spent a lot of money and and had a lot of fun with it. And I think that was right around the time when like CD sales really just took an all-time plummet, and the record industry was kind of changing. So we did a big showcase in Los Angeles where we had a bunch of indies out. We had most of the majors come out, and we got offered some really shitty record deals. And after that happened, we kind of all looked at each other and we're like, well, we can't really live on any of this, so let's maybe figure out another way. And that's when I moved to New York and kind of started just putting out my friends' music, basically. And as things progressed, we've kind of gotten into more of a style. Now it's pretty much like folk exclusive or folk punk exclusive, which, you know, Borski theatrical folk pop, if you will, it fits right into that. Bricktop Blaggers in the Celtic punk scene, it definitely fits into that. So yeah, that's kind of how I came to it.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's been an interesting journey on our part. I've kind of met different people in different facets of life, and slowly but surely started bringing folks together, and it created this thing that was the beginnings of Borski. And then through that, we had other people come in, and some didn't work and some did, and the ones that did created what we have here. And we have been like steadily gigging in Los Angeles. Well, for like 2 years, and we're trying to figure things out. And right before the shutdown, Jake hit us up. He saw us on Instagram, I believe. And
it was on Spotify.
Oh, on Spotify? Yeah. On Spotify. Anyways, they hit us up and we're like going to come to a gig, and then they couldn't make it. We were like, sweet, we got this other rad one coming up. Nope. And then it didn't happen. And then the wonderful man that Jake is continued to talk to us. And then we were trying to figure things out. And so like 3-4 months went by, and then we finally were like, oh, we're doing something. And then we hit him up, and he was like, we thought we were never going to hear from you guys again. And then here we are today. I have to send an enormous thanks to Jake for having faith and trusting us and being down for what we're trying to do. And I like to believe that he's always telling the truth, because when I send him things, he's always like, this is amazing. And I'm like, whether or not it's true, you got to keep saying that. That's what I need to be hearing.
I'll stop saying it all the time, but I do really believe that it's amazing. All right.
You need reality checks. Just put them in place every now and then.
Awesome. Okay, so then Stephen, Dustin, and Karen. Welcome, Karen. Nice to see you. Tell me about your journey from, starting the band and then actually getting onto a label.
Well, when we, when we started, we had a couple of guys in the band that were pretty talented with recording and stuff like that. And we did a lot of self sort of funded, CDs, a couple of them. So we kind of felt like, when we were first starting out, we could kind of do this like self-production type of deal. And it started to get to a point where we felt like we were putting out good enough music that wasn't like getting out there, wasn't getting anywhere, out into the ether, if you will. We did well with CD sales at festivals and, pub gigs and stuff like that. But, getting it out in digital media and, further out there in the world was something that we just weren't super good at. So we played for years with a band called Kel Bordell. And one day their frontman called us up and said, hey, we've been playing together for years. Like, why aren't you guys on our label? Basically. And we were like, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why wouldn't we do that? And so, we jumped in, and, it's been really great as far as filling in those gaps that we felt like we had with trying to get, out there.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, Jake's been great. We just released our first single, Denial, with him, and love it. He's such a positive energy. We've played with him for years. So yeah, it's going to be a good partnership, I think, with Jake. Love it.
From a band's perspective, like, how do you set yourself up to be easy to work with? Or how do you know what I'm saying? Because like, I know that there's in the musician world, it's easy to hear about the people who are demanding or hard to work with. So like, what is your process
from, you know, a label perspective and a band perspective to just like not be a dick and like to be easy and pleasant to work with. You know what I mean?
Tell us, Jake. Tell us, Jake.
Well, honestly, I'm just fortunate to work with my friends here, and you know, Bricktop. Both of these bands are a little different in how we kind of know each other, because Bricktop I've known for years, and I've always looked up to them in the scene. And when my band Kel Bordell got started, we looked up to them as it's true, and we were like, that's where we can go. You know, these guys are playing festivals, and they're really tight, and they're a great band, and so that's kind of how that was born. And we were all friends first, you know, they played my festival in San Diego, and we've done shows together. So it kind of started out of that. And I think it was kind of a natural, you know, they're not really high maintenance guys and gals. They're pretty easy. And Borski, it was definitely a gamble, because I didn't really know them at all. And I just kind of found them on the internet, you know, kind of like weird creeper, hey guys, I love your music. Why don't you sign to my label? But you know what? They put out amazing shit. And I haven't really signed a band like that where I just like, I love their music and I like reached out to them, and we've never met in person. We live 3 hours away, and we joke about it all the time. Like, we're never going to meet each other in person. Like, so, but you know, through this process, I do feel like we've become friends, and I talk to them a good amount. We text all the time, you know, so it's, I think both of these bands are passionate, and they're both able to put out good stuff on their own. So that's one easy thing I have, is I just kind of sit back and I do a little bit of guiding here and there, but both of these guys are capable of doing amazing things without me. So just, if I can add a little bit of help and push them in a direction that maybe assists, then that's kind of how we do it.
I think that's what makes it easy, that one, we were friends and we knew Jake, but the fact that he knows the genre that we're in, because that's the trouble we've struggled with in the past. We've recorded with other people, but they just don't know the genre they're in and kind of how we play. And the fact that he does that, and then he gives us input. So, when we're sitting there recording, hey, why don't you try this or try that? And that's what we want. We want an outsider perspective of it to kind of push us, where we might be in this lane, he might push us in a different direction. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So he's been great to work with. I mean, we did one of our second album, recorded with a great guy. We did our 2 years and a half album, had fun doing it. He was great. But after we had done it and we released it, we were at the House of Blues playing a show, and he came up and watched us live. I had no idea. He had no idea what our sound really was until that point. And we just recorded an album with him. So the fact that Jake knows this, and it's great. It started off great right now, and we're in the middle of recording an album, and I couldn't be happier, for sure.
That's a really good point, to work with somebody who really knows your genre, and like who really understands it. So I really like that perspective. Anyone else?
I think one of the things that keeps me going with them is the fact that Jake will text me at like 3 a.m, like, you up?
What are you wearing, Will? What are you?
You have that shirt that I sent you.
I think that
you got that shirt, right?
Yeah, exactly. The coolest thing for me is, like, I think, and what encourages us to want to be easy to work with would be like the mutual respect that I think it goes on, and the fact that anything I ever knew about like being signed to a label meant that you were like following a bunch of rules, and having just like Jake trust us.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It is like we owe him so much because of that. Having someone say like, "Oh, I trust what you're doing," rather than like, "It has to sound like this." But that faith that he has in what we're creating, I think, really inspires us to want to be like, "Oh, we need to not be assholes."
I think it's also vastly important that Jake himself is a musician, and he's not someone that's in a suit like, well, this is going to do, he gets it. And I would say on our end, because I know that Blair and Will have the group chat with you and they talk to you fairly often, but I feel like I'm always kind of like, have you guys talked to Jake? Have you talked to Jake today? Did you text Jake? And I think that open line of communication is like vastly important. One of the main reasons this relationship is working really well.
Yeah.
He's not unreachable. He's always there.
That's really cool. Does it feel good to hear that, Jake?
It does. This is turning into quite an ego boost right now. I'm just like surrounded by my bands here.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the line of questioning a little bit to questions that I kind of normally ask. when I just am interviewing one band at a time, but I would love to hear from your perspective. What is the freaking craziest thing that has ever happened to you guys and gals at a show? And I'm sure that, like, I know that there are some shared craziest things, or maybe there's individual crazy things that maybe, whatever. I want to hear it. I want to hear.
Karen's the crazy magnet.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I got a lot of crazy shit. A lot of people think it's okay to put their hands on you without asking. Women especially. I've been accosted by women more than men at shows.
Really?
Yeah. We played in Carlsbad once, and this girl was just, I think she was like blackout drunk before she even got to the bar that we were playing.
Okay.
But she was just like dancing all in front of me, no underwear on, just trying to show me everything she could. And and she, at one point, she was like, I was playing and I had my fiddle up, and she came and just like ran her hands down the sides, and I was like, okay, go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you got to top that. I've never heard of that. Like people like running. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Borderline molested on stage. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good way to get a boot to the face.
I remember I think instead of Lexington.
I was gonna say if I wasn't gonna name the venue, but I think we're hive minding here at the moment. Kind of, I'd say semi-similar to your story you just told, but we were playing a venue, small venue, kind of more of a punk venue, so it was interesting for a folk band to be there. And I just remember at one point there was a man that came in mid-set in a big fur coat, and he was like feeling it. Like the moment he got through the door, like he locked eyes with me, and we were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, this dude's about it. And then I just remember at some point after the show, Will comes up to me and he's like, so there's an ambulance outside. And the venue manager had come up to me and said, one of your friends is on the ground outside. And Will went out there and was like, I've never seen this man before in my life.
Yeah, it was terrifying because this guy, we finished a set. I stepped off the stage and the venue guy came up to me and was like, yo, one of your friends is ODing out front. And I was like, oh God. And the first thing in my head was like my mental Rolodex being like, which one of my idiot friends showed up and decided to OD at this club. And I went outside, and thankfully I did not know them, but unfortunately they were in terrible condition and there was an ambulance there. But it was that guy. He was the man who was really feeling the music.
We looked back at live videos and you can see him come in during a song, like all excited. And then little did anyone know 20 minutes later.
It was in the middle of downtown LA too, just for context.
Definitely was relieving though to not see one of my friends on the ground and have to be like, yeah, I'm responsible for that person. That's the crew that we like to bring with us.
Right.
I hope he's okay.
I do too.
Okay yeah. Dang. All right, Dustin, Steven?
For me, I think we had a regular spot, Long Beach at the Old Dubliner. And it's right across from the convention center there in Long Beach. So you get a different crowd in all the time. And we were playing a show once mid-set and a bunch of clowns walks in. I mean, full clown. And the guy just stands 2 feet in front of me, staring at me. And it just like freaked me out. I just didn't know where to look. I'm trying to sing and eye contact with this clown.
Yeah.
It was a weird one, but it was a fun night.
Yo, I'm jealous of that. That's
always
incredible.
fun.
When there's no separation at the Dubliner, they touch you there.
They're in your face. I mean, that we've had so much. I mean, so many crazy
he was like this close to his face, just trying to get a rise out of him.
Yeah,
I've definitely pushed people over there. I've
gotten
you're like, in the face.
What do you do with the clown? Yeah,
I got my fiddle stepped on there once.
Yeah. I mean, it's so close. I remember the blonde chick that was dancing around and went straight through, knocked over the mic, over the monitors. I mean, bang, hit her head real hard, just popped straight back up, back in the mix of it. And we're like, yeah, you deal with that constantly. We deal with that. People are just, I mean, they're that close in these pub shows that they're on your feet, and just flying into you. So
lose a tooth.
Yeah. They wake up
the next
morning like, what did I do? Yeah.
Dustin, do you have any craziness?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's when that question gets asked, it's like all these memories come flooding back, and it's kind of hard to grab onto one as they roll by. But I don't know. I guess you could call it crazy. We played a show once up in Sonora. It was like a harvest festival / fire festival. They were going to do like this fire thing, and we went up and played, and then we had to stop playing while they brought everybody together and did this. They had a lot of fire artists, people that dance with fire and have it on the end of chains, and they're spinning it around, and just really cool visuals. But they brought this huge wooden it's kind of like Burning Man, right? It's like this effigy that they were going to light on fire, and so you can imagine it's, what was it, a dragon? Okay, so it's, yeah. So you're out in the foothills of the Sierras, right? There's beautiful trees, this beautiful little mountain town. You're having this really like cool, moment, and they're trying to get this thing to light, and it just wouldn't light. And the guy that's the MC guy that is running the thing, he's the one that's like, he's like, I call on the spirits of the fire to come, and he's like doing this whole thing, and it's not lighting, and he forgets that his mic is on, and he's like, come on, man, burn. Burn, man, burn. And we crack up still talking about that guy. He was so funny, and his whole like shtick that he was doing, it was very cool. I thought it was awesome, but like the application of it wasn't going well, and so it got off the rails a bit. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Jake, what about you? I know you have a crazy story.
I got one or two. I was just thinking, I know Borski's got the drug overdose story, but there's a lot of drug references with Borski in general, and I want to know. I want to know, like, has anyone ever taken too many mushrooms before getting on stage, Nick?
No, I'm pretty good separating that from shows.
That sounds like a nightmare.
That does sound like an actual nightmare. Yeah.
Oh, well, then I may be able to one up you guys, because Kel Bordell does a lot of drugs on stage, and
listen, we'll play a show together. We'll all get in the green room and mix some things around.
if you mess around with Alan, I mean, he's the kind of guy that will just like stick mushrooms in your tea or your beer, and
oh no, that would be terrible.
Like, start staring at my string. Like.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions if you guys are cool. Can you have the time? Okay, cool.
Very cool.
You spoke about spirits, Dustin, and one of the things that the guys normally like to ask is, do you have any paranormal stories? Have you ever had a Bigfoot sighting? Have you ever seen the Loch Ness Monster? Like, what is your take on any of that, or have you ever had an experience?
Dustin's your man on that one.
Yeah, tons.
Well, best story.
Well, there was this place, I grew up in northern Nevada, up by Carson City, and there's this place up on the road to Virginia City. You take this dirt road out into the desert, and down in this canyon, there's this gigantic concrete complex that they built to mine silver, and they would strip mine it by using like arsenic or something. It strips the silver out of the ore. And anyway, this is back from like the 1850s, right? So the whole place is in disarray, but it's all spray painted and graffiti everywhere and crazy stuff. And I've seen things in trees out there. There might have been some mushrooms or LSD involved, but there was a lot that happened out there. But the most interesting thing was we were going out there to go party, and I had just showed up, and my friends came running out from one of the buildings and were waving their arms in the air, and their eyes were really big. And we got out of the car and they're like, you're not going to believe it, dude. There was a UFO that just flew over. It was crazy. And we're like, nah, man, you guys got started early, man. You're crazy. They're like, no, it was legit. We're like, okay, whatever. So I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, they start pointing to a light that's out on the horizon. And they're saying, there it is. And I grew up Air Force brat and around airports all the time. I know airplanes. I know the stuff that's flying around in the sky. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to show you it's an airplane. Watch what happens. So it starts to fly over and, it's getting to the point where, you start to hear something. We are out in the middle of nowhere. You can hear planes coming from a mile away and we can't hear anything. As it starts to get closer, the single light starts to resolve into four, and they're sort of triangular shaped, and they're set two close in the front and two a little further back. And whatever this thing was, it flew over, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet above us. It had the sky at that point was starting to get black, so you couldn't really see too much of an outline of what it was. But it flew over completely silent. And I've never seen lights like that on any aircraft, on any commercial craft, or, I mean, it could have been military. It could have been the B-2, because the B-2 hadn't really come out at that point. The flying wing one that they used in the Gulf War. And that thing was still top secret. It wasn't really, nobody really knew much about it. I'm that old, by the way. So anyway, and legit, out of all the things that I've ever seen, I've debunked most of what people think are UFOs out. That's one thing that I've never been able to debunk or figure out what it was.
Oh, all right. So a real UFO sighting. Anyone else?
Mine's pretty dark. It's a personal, but let's not go there.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna trust you.
You're talking.
I like how dark Borski gets. I want to go down the rabbit hole. I want to know.
I'll tell you the full story when we meet, man, but not right now.
Oh, so never. Okay.
You're talking about like seeing like you mentioned like spirits or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to, before the world shut down, I used to work at this bar here in LA called it's called No Vacancy, and it used to be called Jane's House, and it's like this over like 100-year-old house, like Victorian style house that used to sit on Hollywood Boulevard. I think it was built by like Wilcox or something. No, Whitley, H.J. Whitley. And so they're like all the like ghost hunting people always like come by there, and they always, like claim that they get like whatever those readers like pick up something. And I've, like I feel like everyone's somewhat of a skeptic to a degree. And but we always like talk about Lady Jane, and even though it was 3 sisters that lived there, but we always refer to the main one as Lady Jane. Their last name was Jane. And she, we always, say thank you to her at the end of the night for allowing us to like use her space to make money. We have like a little altar for her. But so this one time, this guy came in and he was like a medium, or he called himself a seer. And he wanted to just kind of like walk around the bar. So I was walking with him and he goes, oh, there's this woman over in the corner and she's got her hair up in this like, bun. She's wearing this like long dress petticoat thing. And I was like, okay, guy, like, sure. And then he's like, can I go upstairs? We don't allow people upstairs during like the normal hours, but I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. And my manager was like super down. He was like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's see what this guy's about. And so we go up there and he's like talking about these, like, I guess like energies that are in the room, specifically this woman and then like another girl who was from a totally different time period, but they've like now gotten stuck in this house and they've become friends and like all this stuff. And because basically he was telling us that the lady is not happy that we are inhabiting her space, because she basically lived in that house for like till the day she died, like from when she was born till like she died pretty much. And And I was just kind of still like skeptical, you know, whatever. And then he's talking to my manager and he goes, oh, she's telling me some things, but I don't think you want me to say it in front of her, talking about me. So they asked me to close my ears and like not listen. I was like, okay. And then he asks him something. And then after like they had their conversation, my manager was like visibly shaken and was like tearing up. And I was like, what happened? And he's like, I need a drink. And I was like, what happened? And then he told me later that I guess this lady asked the guy, was like, said, where he said, were you upset about something lately? And my manager said, yeah. He's like, yeah, you came up here to cry the other night and you were really sad about something and she was here with you. And he hadn't told a single person that, like, had not told anybody. And he was feeling really guilty about something that he wasn't like talking about anybody about. And he was like so freaked out. He's like, there's no way this random dude would have known that. Like,
right.
Yeah. And so after that, I was like, okay, she's real. Like she actually lives there.
Oh, that's crazy. God, I got goosebumps from that. That's crazy. All right. Anyone else before we move on to the next question? Huh?
I've got a weird ghost story from we play this place in Flagstaff called the Hotel Monte V, or at least we did years ago when live music was allowed. And it's a haunted hotel. And every time we've played there, my bassist Alan, who's the one who will stick mushrooms in your drink when you're not looking, he's like, it's his fucking jam. He just loves that place. And he'll just like everyone goes to bed at 3 or 4 after the show, and Alan will wander the halls of the hotel afterwards to see if he can find ghosts. And one night he kicks back into the door and he comes running in like a big panic, and he's like, that's it. This place is for sure haunted. We're leaving right now. And we're like, well, what did you do? And I guess he had just gotten into it with one of the employees who didn't like the sketchy Filipino guy running around the hallways in the middle of the night. But
oh my gosh. All right. So now that things are opening back up, what are your plans? Like, what are your goals? Because I know that a lot of you are launching things. So what, like in a perfect world, what would you love to do in 2021? And what is your next steps? What are you doing?
To rock. No, seriously, I just want to play shows so bad. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. We are moving into like the final mastering phase of our first full-length album that we've ever put out, not just with Mannequin Vanity, but like in general as a band. And so to promote it, I think that we're trying to shoot for this summer to like hit the road and go and promote it in places and play shows and stuff like that. I grew up in Texas. And so we're for sure going there because I've got friends and family, but I think our goal is to kind of do like from here and wherever the road leads us out to maybe like Nashville.
Awesome. That's really cool.
And just play wherever we can play.
On the street, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool because that is something that I've been hearing of people doing. Is like starting to do house shows again, kind of like, because I remember when I was first getting into punk rock a long time ago, like that was kind of one of the ways that you did it is you went to a house show and then you saw like rad bands and stuff like that. So is that something that is on your radars? Like, are you down to do house shows or backyard shows or whatever? Like, yeah.
I think with the way that the world has been for the last year, like we'll play anywhere. Like as long as there's like a couple people like there,
3 people
to listen.
We did do a backyard show. My sister had a birthday party, so we played there. That's awesome. They built us our own stage.
That's awesome. Well, I'm just throwing this out there. My husband accidentally built a stage in our front yard. So if you're coming through the Santa Barbara area, hit a lady up.
We'll be there. We'll be there tonight.
Send the address.
They're on the way right now. They're getting in the car.
And we just played our first show in over a year last night, so the feeling was great. I mean, just to be in front of people again and just get on a stage, and it's been a while, so it's like I'm so beat up this morning. I'm like, what did I? Oh yeah, I know what I did. So it was like, not playing for so long, it's like it physically takes a lot out of you, and I'm just jumping around and shouting on the microphone, and not even playing an instrument. So it's like, but yeah, it was so much fun. I think I just blew it all in one night, so it was real fun. But yeah, you just want to, hopefully the world opens back up again and we get to play some more shows. Yeah, for sure.
Finish an album.
Yeah. Yes, somehow finish that album.
Were people sitting down when you were playing? Because you can't like dance around still, I think. Or...
No, they got up and danced. It was I was very surprised that it really wasn't. It wasn't social distance. No one was wearing a mask. It was pretty crazy, to be honest. But you know, we were on stage, keeping out the way. But yeah, people up there dancing and having a good old time. It's like just the good old days. And then we had a quick interview with someone that night too, and they asked that same question. Oh, crazy stories. And our answer that night was, there's always one drunk dancing person that gets up at every show we do and will be on the floor. And, 10 minutes later, that happened at the show. So took a header right in front of the stage. So, yeah, but it was good to be back in the saddle again, that's for sure.
That's super cool. And you, Jake?
Oh, well, I got full-length albums coming out with Bricktop and the Late Great Charlie Borski, so that's very exciting. And then, as long as the world allows, we're going to try to get both of them out there as much as possible. Bricktop already had a pretty healthy gig regiment, playing a lot of spots, so I imagine if they're just going to get back into those, they'll be stoked. And then Borski, if I can help them with their touring adventures and connect them with a few places, I'd love to see them hit the road, literally, which is also their single. Great single.
Segue.
Yeah, segue. And then, just for Bricktop, it's been a little more tricky because I'm in San Diego and they're in Orange County. So getting them down to record and doing that versus Borski's doing their own recordings. So they're able to kind of move ahead. But both albums, I'm looking forward to getting both full-length albums out this year. And then with my own stuff, just, we're starting to play real, socially distant stuff. We did this stage at SeaWorld on the Gypsy Jazz thing, but it's literally just Gypsy Jazz and real dialed back. You wear the mask while you're playing. And
oh, wow.
Which is fine. I've done a few sets where we were singing and we got all dizzy and we're like, okay, this isn't fun. Let's just play Gypsy Jazz music, Yeah,
totally. That's pretty crazy to have to wear the mask as you're singing. That would be hard. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So we will be on our website. We will be linking to every single one of your socials in one neat spot and all of your albums and all the things. So thank you again for being here, and we really appreciate it.
Dude, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Courtney.
For sure. And I'm serious. We have a front yard stage, so hit me up.
Time to
We'll do it. We'll get all these guys. It'll be a blast.
Awesome. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks again. Bye, guys.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
Yeah.
You're crazy, man.
What?
Just taking on so much all the time.
Well, that was before, what?
That was the before times?
That was the before times.
I don't think that's true.
It actually was. It was right before I had the issues with the sound on Zoom.
Oh, shit.
And then it was before...
okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I liked it.
Yeah. No, I was a great interview, and it gave me so much confidence that, then I think
I forgot to say, too, that the Champagne song that the late, great Charlie Borski did, the whistling in that beginning is fantastic.
Oh, dude.
You
don't have to tell me twice.
I don't know, dude. I was like, I felt like I could do it just as good, though. Just saying. Maybe whistle contest when you guys come up here and
play. You hate whistle contests. I love them.
What? I hate them?
Yes, you do.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Every time I'm like, whistle contest.
No. You just want to do contests all the time.
Dude, I love contests.
Yeah, right. It's not just whistling. It's all contests. And it gets, a little much.
Okay. I just think gamifying things is fun.
Gamifying?
Yeah.
Is that like a new thing that you learned?
No.
Sounds like a new, I don't know.
Making things into a game to make things
Gamifying?
fun. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, we also had Block Parent call in
and
talk to us, and that was awesome. So I think that I want to play a couple songs by these
Okay.
guys. Maybe I'll do one now, then one at the end.
Oh,
something like
I
that.
like that.
So they do have a new single out right now, Subar. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, they said you said it right.
Subar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then Sick Year, Bro is coming out. So let's fucking do it.
Awesome.
Look at the background, dude.
Space? Space?
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know when I would have lost. Oh, you know, that might have been from a work call. I might have.
For a work call? I thought it was just because it was 420.
Reporting from space.
So nice.
Awesome. Thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah.
You're coming on a little bit early. Our last guy is late, so we're like, all right, dude. Whatever. He shall be.
Classic.
But yeah, so hey, just so you guys know, I'm Jeb, and this is my wife Courtney.
Hey.
We're running on Skeleton Crew here today. We normally do Sundays, so Tuesdays we were trying to cram in a couple more. We're going to go on vacation this weekend, so
yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you having us on. I know we sorry we missed you the other night on Sunday, but thank you so much for rescheduling with us.
Dude, it's all good.
Yeah, no
totally
worries.
all good. We just listened to, what is it? Subar? How do you pronounce it?
Subar.
Yeah, we'll let our main songwriter explain the story behind that one when he hops on.
Okay.
Subar, it stands for
Am I not on?
You're on.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess you guys should go ahead and introduce yourselves. That might be a way to do it too.
What's up?
Yeah,
I'm Jacob.
Hi.
Cool. And
I'm Jacob. Well,
it isn't my other brother Jacob.
Yeah, it's a problem. There's too many Jakes or too many Dodges at any given time. But we are Block Parent, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, are you guys related at all?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, so one of the Jacob and Zach's.
Yeah, we'll let you figure out who. Yeah, but we got the Steve and Doug Butabi brother problem with Jake and I.
Nice.
And then Jacob is our space brother from another mother's connection.
Nice.
Awesome.
What's up?
Cool, man. Who got beat up for the cover of the album, the new one coming out?
That was me.
Come on, Jacob. Your mom is worried sick, bro.
No, she loves me.
What happened? What's the story behind that?
Oh, for the single art. Was out like a dummy. I was fucked up.
Wow.
Had some mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
I was biking, and then my backpack full of beers fucking went over my head and took me down to the cave, you know?
And then instead of someone helping you, they took a photo.
Well, yeah, I asked them. They had photo evidence.
This is going to be perfect for the album.
Art was unfolding. It was unfolding in front of us.
We call it meth head acting.
Court, you get some questions for these guys?
Yes, I have some ground-shattering questions, but I was thinking about it today.
But I'm not going to ask those.
No, I am, but I'm just like, okay, whatevers. Okay, what is your least favorite household chore to do?
Oh, my God.
Are we each to answer these? Like, we each get around at this?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Probably laundry. I feel like that's the one I have the worst relationship with.
I know. I was doing Laundry Mountain when I came up with that question.
Yeah. My wife's got laundry on lockdown. I don't touch it.
Uh-huh.
Laundry.
Okay.
All right. Jacobs?
You go first, Jacob.
Oh.
You first.
Am I going? Okay, I'll go first. I honestly, I'm a laundry guy, and like, it's not even that I don't like doing it. It's the aftermath. It's like, I'll have it all done, and I've got the motivation from the day to like feel good about getting some minor thing done. But then I'll leave the pile of nice, clean clothes just sitting in a shitty, depressing ball in the corner, just staring at me all week.
Yep.
Because I can't get my shit together for 5 extra minutes just to put it away.
Yeah.
So it leads into a lot of smaller problems in my life. So it's probably that.
Yo, so thoughts on chores. I had a breakthrough on the weekend. Full-blown, like, raking dad here. I'm out back, raking the lawn, cleaning up with the little one running around. And I've always been, like, rakings for leaves, you know? Like, you get the rake out when the leaves are down.
Yeah.
And I'm raking and just getting all, like, the sticks and twigs and all the brush on the lawn. And I'm like, this is coming together, and it wasn't just for leaves. It was like a chore breakthrough. It was realizing that the rake had so much more potential. And it was a big deal. So the backyards never look so good because the rake's not just a seasonal chore tool now. It's a year-round outdoor appliance.
I like
This is getting deep.
I like it.
All right, Jacob, you're up.
Oh, me? I have a unfortunate problem where I don't do any of the chores.
That's
and
good.
I'm just a piece of shit. So, but my girlfriend, she does them.
She does them.
There you go.
She does them.
I'm not gonna wash my clothes. I'm here to dirty them.
What about you guys? What sucks for the chores?
Oh,
Dishes. Fucking hate it.
Dishes, yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind the laundry. She cleans it while I'm at work. Like, she works from home, so she makes a huge pile, and then I'll just get stoned and I fold it and watch TV at the same time.
but it doesn't happen every single week.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
As regular
So
as it
we
should.
call it Laundry Mountain because
Laundry
it just sits there like a mountain in the room sometimes, and then we got to go
It
through
sucks,
it.
dude.
But my absolute pet peeve is folding socks. Like, I hate matching socks together, and
Doesn't bother me.
Drives me nuts.
I don't mind. I don't mind folding
Yes,
clothes.
I often wear 2 pairs of socks.
What?
I don't know why. Because I have holes. I have holes in a lot of them, so I rotate the the outside are the old ones.
I'm a double half man.
So I have double laundry to take care of me.
I've never heard of wearing double socks.
I've never heard of wearing double socks, but the fact that 2 of you in this band double up your socks is very interesting.
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
We're from Cambridge, Ontario.
This is the double sock thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're from Florida originally.
Yeah.
We live in Southern California. 2 pairs of socks, dude. I'm wearing flip-flops, you know?
Yeah, just flip-flops.
Already know some 4 days.
Like it's what? It's 420 here in Ontario. Well, everywhere it's 420, but we've got snow today in Cambridge.
No way.
Dusting of late April snow today.
Whoa.
It's 75 degrees out and sunny.
Yes.
Shut up.
However, I'm in here, so it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm still stuck in this fucking thing. Yeah. So, you guys got the new album coming out, right? Sick Year, Bro? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it going to be
Sick Year, Bro, coming early May 7th.
That's all right. And it's a full length or is it an EP? What's happening?
Full length.
Full length.
It's a full length.
Awesome.
10 tracks, 10 songs for you.
I really like the name, dude. My band, my band is called Up Your Guts, which is stupid, but we were thinking of Nice Ass Bro for our album. I'm not even kidding. But it was just us staring around like at a farm with a farmer and just looking at his donkey. The stupidest thing ever. And I was like, so you guys, now I don't know that I can do it.
We're taking a run at it. Yeah, full length early May, all DIY out of our jam space. I'm working with some really close friends for recording, mixing, mastering, and getting the whole thing out the door. But we're pretty stoked to have had the ability to put something together through crazy pandemic times. It was a good project for us.
Awesome.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and who's the drummer? Oh, that's you. And so you just had cancer? I did.
I'm
Google search on you guys.
Yeah,
the other day.
Yeah, what a great claim to fame.
Well, I'm just like, I was like, holy shit, man. So how was it? How are you?
Yeah, like
How's the cancer?
It's still going. Yeah, it's a thyroid cancer.
Oh fuck.
In my third, diagnosed November 2018. So we've been, as a band and as friends and family, just been kind of rolling with the punches since that came around. Had a couple surgeries, so these dudes have been super cool and supportive when I've needed to disappear for a couple of months to heal up and, just kind of take the time I've needed to get my body back together. But just kind of in those kind of 6-month checkup windows with the doctors right now. They're looking at me again in August to see how the recent round of treatments and surgery did, but just keeping busy, keeping active, and trying to, enjoy the time we have. It's good. This is great. It's nice to have these dudes and music and podcasts, and this is all great.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Year, bro. I can say that to you.
It was a sick year. So
some sick years, bro.
It was kind of a cute little like double entendre. The language kind of hit on a couple different chords for us. But yeah, if you don't know beyond the surface of the band, you'd probably just pick up the cute joke on top. But yeah, it's these dudes, my Jakes here. They got the love, and they know I've been a sick boy. So it's cool.
That's awesome. I mean, so in the pandemic, did you have to be extra stringent and like really stay home and like not go to the grocery store? Like, how was that with the pandemic?
I don't know, like my wife was like super protective of me at the beginning, but like we're quite the pair in my house. My wife's a type 1 diabetic. I'm dealing with cancer. Our little one was born right before 2 months before my cancer diagnosis. So we've got a little one, diabetic, a dude with cancer. But my doctors along the way, they've never really kind of steered me into like, you're immune compromised. I've been honestly, I'm probably in the best physical and mental shape I've been in my entire adult life because of this whole business. It's kind of scared the health into me.
Right.
But no, like we were pretty protective at the beginning, but you know, I've done my part to go out and, you know, do the shopping, support the fam, do the basic kind of stuff up here, but I'm trying to get back to normal.
Well, are you guys seeing, like, I don't know how it is right now. We just went into orange tier, whatever the fuck that means. But basically it means that, like, we can have some music again now inside. Is that happening for you guys up there?
Hell no.
I'm seeing some heads now.
Yeah. Dougie Ford says
our premiere is on Ontario's a bit of a mess right now. What are we in right now, guys? Are we great?
I don't even know, man. All I know is I still have to go to work and it sucked, and I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and snow in the morning.
Oh, dang.
But yeah,
so it's gonna
we're far away from live music. No live music or no sign of it for quite some time still.
Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna wait to put out the album until you guys can go and tour it, or go play it, or just throw
no.
We're putting it out, baby.
Fucking send it, dude.
Fucking send it. It's already been. Well, Jacob, you speak to that, man. Like to put a record together and to sit on it and try to do something with it is taking us a bit of work, but
yeah. I write so much music that I like to put shit out because I got more to put out, you know?
Right.
There you go.
I like it.
So, the funny thing about the whole Sick Year Bro notation there is when we put out a vinyl split just as, like, the first lockdown was fucking
weeks before the pandemic.
we
were scheduling our record release.
Oh my gosh!
It was like January. We're like, yo, this is gonna be our fucking year. We're gonna do it, and then fucking March. So that was kind of like the whole sick fucking year. This is good. This is our year,
bro.
Sick year.
We're ready for us.
Fucking year.
But then you wrote a whole nother album and recorded it in that time, so you didn't waste the time.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. You know, like it's. At first, it was weird. Everyone was like trying to kind of feel out what's everyone's kind of like comfort level and ability to connect and write and practice and like get it together. And finally found a good window by the fall to like get the new tracks recorded and practice well enough that we felt good about putting them down. But yeah, it came to that point where it's like, if we wait to tour this thing, or at least like, you know, for us, for what we're doing in Ontario here, you know, if it would have been like a string of spring and summer shows to support it and get it out and about, like we could have been waiting on it for another 2 years. And I think it was just like a momentum thing as a band. Like it just made sense to like sink into a project, get it out, and then start the cycle again, you know? And I think for the three of us, that was probably a good decision to like get it down, keep working, keep moving, and get it out to those that'll find it and care about it, you know, and support it later with shows when we can.
That's awesome. And so I'm a little confused. Is it coming out on Thousand Island Records, or is it Glue Gun Records that it's coming out on?
So Glue Gun Records, we're good buds of ours, also from Ontario. We're down to hook up with us and help us with the cassette release. And then we're doing the CDs just through our own. But either way, they've been a great support and just good friends. And also Brent from Glue Gun Records himself mastered the album. So it was
very cool.
Keep it with family, keep it with friends. We've played shows with bands that Brent is in. We kept it pretty close to the chest with this one.
Why cassettes?
I mean, we've been really, like in our region, cassettes have been like, I'm going to pull from my brother here. Zach calls it the action figure of the merch table. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with being such a nostalgia soaked band with our culture within our own like writing and our vibe, like it just felt like the right appropriate move and format for our music with what we're kind of going for since we started. Very cool. And we kind of kept that up. Like our first full length was on tape. Our follow-up full length, which was technically a demo that we like kind of threw out into the world before we took it, went off into a break when Zach was dealing with his diagnosis. So we're like, hey, this might be like our last thing for a while. So we just kind of whipped it together with the help of a good friend of mine who runs No Funeral Records, a Screamo label, who I live with. He helped us with the tapes. So we just kind of kept this tape momentum moving. And we're like, fuck it, let's just do it. And we were going for this kind of tribute and homage to Nimrod from Green Day. So we're like, oh, they had cassettes. We've already been doing. Let's just keep it going, and then to bring back the Glue Gun, they've also been a cassette focused label as well. So we're like, fuck it, let's keep the magic going. It's affordable, it's fun, it's cute, and it's why not?
That's awesome.
And what about vinyl?
You're cute.
You're cute.
I mean, vinyl. I mean, like we did it last year, and of course we hit that weird roadblock with everything with the pandemic, and took wind out of the sails. And I can't be more thankful for the support and all of our friends and family and fans, new and old, that did pitch in and bought a copy or multiple, even just for collector's sake. Just in the end, just budget wise, just wasn't there. We had some stuff lined up that kind of fell through, and we're like, fuck it, let's just move forward and put it out on whatever format that we can afford that makes sense to us now.
There you go.
And
I think we got to that point in the conversation too, where it's like, if let's get the music out there, and then if whether our own momentum with the sale of tape, CDs, merch, whatever, can fund a small run of vinyl later on to kind of fit the need. Right. Let's go for it. Like that. I think we just, we want to get it to that point where it's sustaining itself versus just right now in the Ontario music scene, any physical medium seems like a total gamble. Cause like for us,
there's no shows.
There's no shows, man. Like that's where that's the bulk of your merch and music sales is, showing up to a cool new city and, meeting some new people that night and moving some records. And that's not happening right now. So I think it just made more sense to like, how can we affordably get this physically into people's hands and then support it with all the different, streaming services, of course. Like that's kind of a standard, got to do it.
Right.
Got to.
But hey, if people find Sick Year Bro, enjoy it, and it creates the need and the ability to do a small run of vinyl and bring in a label friend, then fuck it. Like that's the dream, man. That's what we'd like to see it, turn into,
Hell yeah.
Well, we got to be right. Like we're three dudes from a small town, full-time jobs, got kids on the way, dealing with shit. Like we just can't afford to do the dream, we can't hit the road for months on end and just make it work as much as we'd all, you grow up wanting that, feeling that, it just sets in. And so if we can do it, like a limited run of records, if we can do it, or if we're just channeling the money into whatever our next project is and that can get pressed, then fuck it, why not? Like, I mean, we struck like the bottle with our fortunate timing last year with our buds, Frank Dukes, another fellow Cambridge punk band, that we were able to slap together a record. Like, that's insane. Like, I never thought we'd even be doing that. Mm-hmm. So we hit it.
That was awesome.
Fuck, like, check it off the list, right? Like, it's ideally we'd like to do it with this album, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I see that Jacob's drinking a White Claw. Is that 8% motherfucker that you got right there? Have you even
8%? Oh no, it's 5. We just got this new flavor today in the LCBO.
Oh shit! Well, you got to look for the 8%. They've boosted the alcohol. There's a new one that just came out. Take it to the limit. I thought maybe for 420 you're getting fancy.
I would.
Court, we got a couple more questions?
I do. So what got you into music? Like what band or what event in your life got you all into playing music, wanting to be in a punk band specifically?
It sounded like you're going to say something else.
I know. I just realized I did. I'm sorry.
You keep me on the edge of my seat here.
Sorry.
And
then nothing.
Yeah, I heard Basket Case on the radio as a kid, and didn't, when you're a kid, you don't know genre. You just know like a sound and like a tempo that you like. So I think Basket Case and early Offspring were like the first kind of impressions of punk rock made on me before knowing what to call it. And I remember just being like really fascinated with like the air drumming and just like air drumming as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then kind of carrying that interest through my adolescence. I'm like, okay, like maybe I want to play guitar, yada, yada, yada. And then I think it was honestly like Blink hitting me like a lightning bolt in grade 6. And like that Cheshire Cat Dude Ranch era, I think cemented me as like that like late 90s, early 2000s, like skate pop punk kid. One thing led to another, started just like playing drums in our high school music room at lunch, like not as part of band, but like you'd sneak in and then like I'd like break their mallets on the drum set. My friend would just be like on guitar or whatever. And then I think, you know, one thing led to another. First drum set, you know, high school kind of, you know, jamming bands and stuff like that. But I think that like 90s pop punk, Green Day, Blink era was majorly impressionable upon me. I think, I don't know, I can probably speak for the other dudes here when like those were big moments for kids.
You're pretty much saying.
Like my dad, I remember my dad took me to the Green Day Insomniac tour at Maple Leaf Gardens. And that was my first major concert, like arena concert, seeing the Insomniac tour. And I would have been like 7 or 8 years old, which is just insane to think about now. But yeah, I don't know, like that. I got bit young, and I've just been in love with it ever since. I've just been mesmerized by the whole scene. It's just great people, great culture, and
Yeah, I took my kid to his first concert at 2. Circle jerks. Circle jerks.
There you go. There you go.
I've been like a bit of like the football dad in that way.
Yeah.
Punishing.
Yeah, man, you gotta do it.
I can relate to that. Like, I feel like just speaking on just what's happening with, like, our parents are very musically inclined and into it. Parents like hippie punks, and like I feel like my first memory at a concert as a child, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, was being tossed around to get me out of like a mosh pit at Great Big Sea. But they're like the Flog and Molly of Newfoundland.
Wow.
And it just like, I'm like, there's no like, why the fuck am I there at 4 years old? But like, so right from the early roots of my ears, like it was just there. And then like as a child growing up around Zach, like I'm just being thrown band after band of just pop punk nostalgia that is like just boiling my fucking brain to death in a good way. And then at one point, Zach and Jacob had Cerebral Scrub was a local absolute classic band in the region, and they were jamming in my goddamn basement. So I was growing up with this amazing punk band who I was like falling in love with and being indoctrinated by and brainwashed. Yeah. And it was like this energy, this flow, like these parties I'm seeing, the people, the culture. This is just incredible. I'm getting ripped out of my bed at 12 years old to be brought to shows I had no business being at 12 years old. Just brought in by this amazing crew.
I'm 7 years older than Jake, my younger brother in here. So you can imagine like Jacob and I like that was, I think, my big defining moment as like a musician and like, you know, local player was having the opportunity to play with Jacob and Cerebral Scrub. Like I remember saying that to my girlfriend and now wife, but I'm like, man, I'm like, if there was a band that was gonna like do something outside of Cambridge, it would be Scrub. Like Scrub just had like that swagger, the writing, the personality, the stage presence. Like it was like you were going to a show when you saw Scrub. You weren't just seeing some kids hack around and like. So like, you know, yeah. Long live Scrub and the hard work that Kirk is slung into that band. But
well, that's a good introduction to why I started with Scrub. But definitely, like, I've been writing songs since maybe grade 5. Like, I started writing songs and shit, and I started like. Then I finally got a guitar, and then I got a bass, and taught my friend to play bass, and it was just like a whole like. Always just trying to fucking make music, because I found music was a way to fucking do everything you could want when it comes to art. Do all your own art. You can like act pretty much. You can do all that shit, right? But when I started Cerebral Scrub, I just wanted to like make some shitty punk rock, and I was really inspired by Tom Green, who had a show who had a show here in Canada, like, and then later on moved out to the States and did the MTV show. But that show is what I wanted to do in front of people. Like, I was like, the music is fast and whatever, but I just wanted to throw meat around and just do crazy shit. So, and that was the whole the start of Cerebral Scrub. But
that's fucking awesome. So
bring it around. There's a really awesome, beautiful connection, which I really love with just the three of us, with Cerebral Scrub from Jacob and Zach, and then my connection with being a child is way back. Scrub had a shirt. This was one of their main logos was this guy here, and this logo is the logo of Block Parent from which
community program.
It might not know. It might not know what it is.
Yeah, but like that was the logo of like the block parent like force in our region of like an anti-bullying community.
Wow.
Yeah. So the block parent program. I don't know if you guys would have had that in your locale, but essentially you could register as a block parent family or safe house that if you were a kid out and about and like stranger danger approached you, or you were in an uncomfortable or unsafe situation when you were outside playing as a kid,
you can go to the molester's house.
You could go to a block parent house and they'd protect you. You could like knock on the door, like, hey, let me in. Like, I need a safe place. Call your mom. So you'd put the block parent sticker in your window, or you'd see like a block parent. That logo was ironically used as a cerebral scrub moment, but later surfaced as our band name.
There you go.
Well, we would have the neighborhood watch.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Same idea.
I bet so many kids got molested at those houses. That shit is not right, dude. Something smells wrong to me.
Yeah.
When we first started, we were talking about like putting that logo on the side of a van or something, and we're like, maybe
maybe not.
Big white man.
Cool, man. I got a couple more questions for you guys, and then we'll let you get going. But why do you have to take your pants off to jack off? Have you ever tried keeping your pants on?
Over the pants handies?
I've been jacking off with my right hand this whole time.
Over the top. It depends on what kind of pants you wear.
No, they're stretchy. I wear those stretchy maternity jeans.
Maternity pants.
The joggers. Always get your hand in there.
Not just for protecting you after you make the baby.
And I guess I got one last question for Zach. Like, are you glad that you had thyroid cancer, not colon cancer?
Yeah, no shit, right?
I mean, they're always digging in your butt. I mean, it seems like if you had to get one.
This whole business has led to them trying to cut my head off 3 times, and it seems like that's been easier than a lot of other folks have it. Like, fuck, man, I'm incredibly grateful that like I'm still able to do all this. I think what's been one of the shitty kind of side effects is not being able to sing in the band anymore. I know when we started, that was as a 3-piece. It was nice to have like that. Not that we had a 3-part harmony, but at least contribute to like the gang vocals and whatnot. And for whatever reason, well, obviously for whatever reason, but I can't do it anymore. So that sucks, but
that's scary.
Hey, man, still ripping on the drums. So
his ass is looking beautiful.
Ass looking good. Thyroid, not so much.
Well, send us a photo, bud. We'll post it on our socials.
Will do.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us a little bit today. Is there any last thing you want to plug before we go?
Next Monday we've got our last single of the album coming out. It's called "Take Part or Die." That'll be out on Monday, streaming everywhere, of course. That's kind of
May 7th. May 7th is the big release, right?
That's the one. May 7th.
Well, you guys hit us up when it comes out, and hopefully you guys can get to go play some music soon live in front of people and play those songs for everybody.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Word.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for the opportunity, and nice to get to know you guys a little bit more and get to. This is great. It sucks that people can't do shows and network right now, so it's shows like this that are keeping it together. So thank you so much, and hope you guys are enjoying the tunes.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate you guys.
I also just wanted to say I love you.
We love you too. Look at this. He's so somber.
I know, so
I'm going to
serious.
screenshot that shit right there.
I know. That's good. That's good.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Deuces.
Kisses.
Take care.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach and Jake for coming on. That was fun, man. That was a lot of fun, and I got a little sneak peek on the album.
The
new album. When this comes out, will that even matter? I'm not sure. I don't know where the dates are. I've been smoking weed all day.
I think it will be out.
Okay.
Fully.
But still, just know in your hearts that I've heard it before you. That's it. Well, that's the way it rolls, dude, around here.
All right.
Yeah, well, I had fun anyways. I mean,
it was fun.
I don't know what else to do on 420. It's not like we really celebrate that.
No.
I'm going to get you high, though.
No.
Yeah?
Uh-uh.
Yes?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. She said yes.
I didn't.
You heard her.
No, I didn't.
All right. What? So I think we're gonna play a song on the way out here.
Okay.
You know what?
What?
We forgot to ask tribute song. Funeral song. Fuck.
Oh, you know what? You should email them.
Yeah.
And then pop it in.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
It's also hard when you're talking to 3 people.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
that's
better.
like a one-person thing.
Yeah, it's like
because,
more of a one-on-one thing.
That's kind of with the Corporate Hearts. Because when they both had a song, it's hard to play them both on the way out of the interview.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Do you know
Yeah, it
what I mean?
was. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, because it did get weird.
Yeah.
But we're going to make that funeral playlist.
We're going to make a funeral playlist.
That's nice.
That's going to happen.
Pretty solid.
Mhm.
All right. Well, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to say bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next week.
All
and
right.
then I'm going to play one last song from Block Parent. And surprise, hey, our other guest didn't show up. So this is one, it's a song off of Courtney's favorite album called Take Off Your Pants and Jack Off. This is Song DeLong.
A subtle lyric, a melody can hijack your thoughts to memories. Experience out a party to a place so fucking beautiful to be. There's no other ways to travel time. We can go places in our minds. Sound waves mark frames in our timelines. And music can trigger moments. I just wanna write your favorite song. So I can still reside here when I'm gone. A song that takes you back where you belong. And vicariously I can tag along.